Hello, everyone. I'm Donna Presley, cousin of the legendary Elvis Presley, and I sing, I act, I do speeches, and I write books. So it's always good to be here with my good friend Jim Masters on his show. He's an amazing man, and it's an amazing show, and I'm just so proud to be here. I'm one to open up and dish on everything Elvis and the Presley family. So thank you for joining us, and we're going to share right now. Welcome to the Jim Masters.
Donna, that was fantastic. I
Oh,
never
thank
thought
you.
I'd be introed by the one and only Donna Presley on the Jim Masters show, but that was fantastic. I love it.
Thank you.
Should have you open the show every day. It's always a blessing to see you, and thanks for those kind words. It's always nice, and I said the last several times actually, that you always have a home here, and we would keep the porch light on for
Yes, you
you
did.
to
Yes.
return to the Jim Masters show series, and it's a pleasure. And I love how you kept the tree up for me as well. And tell us what you do. It's all adorned for the holidays, but then
Yes.
you take decorations down and you keep the tree up, right?
I do. I have three in my home, and I put the decorations on, around Thanksgiving, and then take them down a little while after the first of the year, and then I leave the trees with the lights on up all year long because it gives you just a warm and happy and comfortable feeling, and so I like the ambiance of it. So that's just my little quirk.
I love that. And that room that you're in is so fantastic. Is
Thank
that
you.
is that like a living room there?
Actually, this is a second master bedroom. Yeah.
Very nice. Very,
Thank
very
you.
beautiful. I love
Thank
it.
you.
So how have you been, my friend, since we chatted last? I know there's so many new exciting things that are happening, and
Yeah.
we'll share that and sort of
Mhm.
dish along the way. But how are you and how are the family, my friend? Everybody doing well?
Everybody's doing very well. Thank you so much. Everyone's healthy and happy, and so I'm excited and thankful for all of that. But things have been really busy. I was in Sweden for 6.5 weeks, and I came home the day after Christmas, and then we had the Elvis and Cash birthday bash on January the 9th in Nashville. And so I'm back home. And then on the 27th, which is my birthday, I actually fly out to Germany and Austria until the 16th of February.
Wow, that's fantastic. You are busy. You've been everywhere all the time. I see you. You're traveling, and there's also cruises that you go on too,
I
right?
do. Yes, absolutely. Yes. We just did a cruise last year with Dennis Jail and the TCB cruise. And it was amazing and wonderful. It was a Mediterranean cruise. And then I have one coming up in September that with RGE Travels, and that's out of Southampton, UK. And it actually ends up in Port Call, which is one of the largest Elvis festivals that in the world. So it should be a lots of fun.
That is fantastic. I want to remind people too, in addition to not only being, of course, the cousin of Elvis Presley, you yourself have a wonderful career as a singer and a legacy speaker and an actress, motivational speaker, a true humanitarian as well. You're always out there, and you're also always performing and greeting fans. You have your career, but of course, you're continuing to celebrate and honor and preserve the legacy of your cousin, the one and only Elvis
Yeah.
Presley, who we all love and miss, and is truly an icon, a legend. All the words that people say all the time are so true when, describing somebody like Elvis, who really left us with so much incredible music. You, of
Yeah.
course, have had such a love for your cousin Elvis in every which way you could possibly think. And as we're coming together for this episode of our show. And again, if you haven't seen, folks, Donna has been a guest here on the Jim Masters Show on a number of occasions. She's a dear friend of our series. We love having her here on this particular episode. In addition to all the amazing things they're going to be talking about, including her performance, Donna Presley and Friends. She goes out on the road. She performs as well. It happens to be still within the range, a matter of days and weeks of Elvis Presley's birthday. So we say a happy birthday, of course, in heaven to the one and only Elvis
Absolutely.
Presley and your cousin. And there have been some events that have happened celebrating Elvis's birthday as well, right? That you've been a part of.
Yes, in Nashville, we always I get together with Dennis Gell from Austria. He comes to Nashville, and we play with the like Glenn D. Harden, who was with Elvis on stage, Larry Strickland, who was backup singer, Terry Blackwood, Ginger and Mary Holiday, Donna Rhodes Morris, and it's just and Paul Lime, the drummer. I mean, it's all family, and the TCB family, and so we come together and we celebrate Elvis's birthday. And then, as I said, on the 27th, I fly out to go to Germany and Austria, which I'll also be with Dennis Gell at that time in the TCB group. And we'll be putting shows on there. So it's an exciting, wonderful time. And then April the 18th, I'm on the advisory board of the Mississippi Music Foundation, and we do an award show every year, to help celebrate artists that, give them an opportunity to accept awards and be on stage and just share time with each other and with people around. And so we're very excited about that, and it's things are lining up to be very, very busy.
They are as well. And as I mentioned, celebrating everything your cousin, the one and only Elvis
Yeah.
Presley, you have penned books as well in celebration of Elvis and the memory and the family. And you've even shared some Presley family and friends recipes for the foodies out there, which has been so well received, which I think is absolutely fantastic. Preserving his memory is something that isn't always easy, right? Because you're talking about somebody who is your loving family member, of course, who will always be cousin Elvis to you and all the family and relatives and friends over the years. But there's so many different stories and tales and books and movies and people that have had all kinds of different commentary about Elvis. But you being family and having the relationship with him and with the relatives, it's near and dear to your heart. You're almost on a real deep dive mission lately to make sure that stories are accurate, truthful, and the truth gets out there, and that you celebrate it with the fans and those who care about Elvis, and keep things on the straight and narrow with the information and the facts, right? That's been you've always been that way, but lately it's been almost like a mission.
It has been a mission, Jim. You know, those of us who grew up around Elvis, who lived there and knew him and, were around him and, saw him. And I didn't travel with Elvis. I didn't, go to work with him or anything like that. My time with him was either at the Circle G Ranch or at Graceland. But the time that you spend with someone and you see this man who's done so much for not only his family, but for everyone around him. And, he always said, God has blessed me so greatly that I would be remiss if I didn't give back. And so, it's legendary, his generosity. But he was also generous with heart and with spirit and with love. And he loved having family around. When he bought the Circle G, my family and I moved on to there and lived there until he decided to sell it and moved us to Graceland. So we lived behind Graceland on the grounds there in the mobile home that he and Priscilla spent their honeymoon in, when they first moved to the Circle G. And so we lived, right there, and we just walked across the yard to the house. And, I would go in my grandmother's room and sit there and, talk with her and family members, and Elvis would come in and sit down, and we would laugh and talk, or have serious talks, and tell each other how we felt about things. And he has done such a tremendous job. He's broken every barrier. He has crossed religious, racial, economic barriers, and just made people happy and joyous. And everybody stood together. It didn't matter if you had 50 million in your pocket or 50 cents. It didn't matter. Everybody was standing there together for the joy of his voice and the music that he created. And he broke fashion barriers. I mean, because he was the first to come out with some really wonderful and wild colors together. And now we're doing that every day. And like the satellite show at Aloha, that was the very first for that to ever happen. And there was like over 1 billion people saw that. And I don't think that'll ever happen again in anyone's lifetime. So he's just done some amazing things, and he's touched people. And 48 years after his passing, he's still doing that. He's still bringing people together. He's still touching lives and making people's lives better and touching them in a great way. And that's what he should be remembered for.
Absolutely right. And you've been, even taking to online and things of that nature, sort of trying to get the story straight, and defending his legacy and preserving it of late. And that's a beautiful thing, because people have super fans have questions, and they want to know. Uh, they hear different things from different parties and different people, and everybody seems to have an Elvis story, whether they met him or not. And it's fascinating. It must be to you, as the family. But what are some things that you've been expressing and sharing with fans and with the public at large, that are maybe some misconceptions, or things that we thought were this, but they really weren't that? And you've been, in such an eloquent and very articulate way, sort of setting the story and the record straight.
Well, thank you, Jim. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I want people to know who he was as a person. We all know what a wonderful entertainer and icon that he became, and will always remain to be so. And that's wonderful. But I want people to know what he was really like as a human being, as a man. Yeah, there were times he made bad choices, or whatever, just like all of us do, because no one's perfect. But I want to clear up the fact. There's been a lot said. He was this drug addict, and out of his mind, and I want people to realize that Elvis took prescription medication for infirmities that he had real infirmities that he had in his body. Did he take too much at times? Yes, sometimes he did. Did he medicate himself sometimes, as a result of taking maybe too much? Because some people, hey, I've even done it. If I got a really bad headache, and if I think one aspirin will help me, then I'll take two, because that might be better. But it's just, I want them to realize that he was not taking anything to try to escape his life, or to be drugged out of his mind or anything, because he wasn't. You cannot live the life that Elvis lived and accomplish the things that he accomplished and be this mindless drug addict. Yeah, you just can't. And I want people to realize that he took prescription medication for his infirmities. And as I said, times there, maybe he took too much. And then he had insomnia. He took sleeping medication. And sometimes the medication might work quicker than he intended, or it might last longer. He had to get up and do a show. It might be a little draggy, because it was kind of something that's still in your system of taking sleeping medication. But if you're an insomniac and you can't sleep, then you have to take something to help you rest. And I want people to realize that. And I want people to realize that Elvis had such honesty and such integrity, and was transparent in everything that he said and did. And I want him to be remembered for those things, and for touching people's lives and making a difference in people's lives. I received letters and phone calls and emails from people all over the world. And I travel all over the world talking to these people and talking about Elvis and the family. And, like one in particular that I love to tell because it's so important, I think, the way that Elvis has touched people and still doing so after his death. I received a letter from a lady. She was born in Poland. And she said, when I was 7 years old, I heard a record of Elvis. And she said it was just magical. And his voice just enveloped me and covered me like a blanket. And she said, I was obsessed with getting to know English because I wanted to know what he was saying. And her mother knew a little bit of English, and she taught her what she knew, which wasn't much. But at that time, English was banned in Poland, and you couldn't learn it. But once they lifted the ban, she went on and became, studied English, went on to university, and now she's teaching English to others. And she told me, she said, Elvis's record and who he was made the trajectory of my life change completely. And now she's helping others. And that's what Elvis is all about, is touching lives and helping others. And the one thing he always wanted to be remembered for was that I made a good difference. I made a difference in people's lives, and I touched them and made them happier. And that was one thing he always wanted to be remembered for. And that's what he should be remembered for, because he's still doing it 48 years after his passing.
Isn't that amazing? He's always referred to, his music's always out there, the movies, everything. Elvis is still talked about in such an extraordinary and long-lasting way. And I think it's beautiful when you have people like yourself who want to protect and preserve it and celebrate it as well, because you, through the years, have seen and witnessed and felt the energy
Mm-hmm.
from the world as far as how much they love and can never really get enough of Elvis, and
Mm-hmm.
gone way too soon, of course, for
Yeah.
everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I'm sure you've felt the power. You've heard what people have said. They've stopped you and they've poured their heart out to you, and they've sent letters, and you've just really, he's your cousin. But when you see the world react, and still all these years since his passing back in 1977, the summer of
Mm-hmm.
77, to still feel that the love and appreciation for him is still palpable
Mm-hmm.
must be amazing for you, huh?
Well, it is, because he was such a wonderful man, and such a, he stood up for his faith in God, and let people know that he, loved the Lord, and that he was touched by God. And, um, I want people to, realize that. And there's been a lot of really bad things said about Elvis, things that are not true. And I want to set those records straight. And I mean, these are from people that were once close to him. And I just, it breaks my heart to hear these things. And so, I come out and I say, no, this is not true. This is just not the way he was. And so I want people to realize that he was human, yes, but he certainly was not, had not done some of the things that people have said about him. And I want that to be told and to be true. And, you know, people that say things, there's ex-friends and people that work with him, and ex-girlfriends or ex-wife, that say things that are harmful and hurtful. And I want to correct those things, because you know he was such a loving and caring and wonderful man, and all he cared about was helping other people, and just living his life, and making family happy, and being in love with people, and loving what he did. He loved to be on stage. He loved that energy with the fans. He adored his fans and appreciated them so much. And there's new fans that are coming up every day. I mean, I talked to people at the birthday bash. There was a young lady there that was like maybe 20 or 21 years old. And she said, I'm just a huge Elvis fan. And, I just recently discovered who, him as in his music. And I'm just fascinated by him. And, I want these people to realize the man that he was. And yes, he accomplished all these amazing things. And he was an ordinary man, but he was touched by God to do extraordinary things. And he's still doing those things. And so I want them to know the truth about Elvis Presley. who he was, and the type of person that he was, and that we all, learned about the Lord and learned about family values and being honest and truthful and having integrity and pride in who you are and what you do at our grandmother's knee. And Elvis and I both were extremely close to our grandmother, Minnie Mae. We were the only two that were allowed to sit on her bed. So we would tease her and play with her and, just enjoy family time together. And I would go in there, and there oftentimes, there's been times he would come in and it would just be he and I in grandma's room. And he would sit in the floor and in front of my chair, and we'd just talk. And he'd tell me, things about himself that, maybe he wouldn't tell a girlfriend or an ex-wife or a mafia, one of the mafia guys, Memphis Mafia, our friends. And that was the way he was with family. He was very protective and very loving and very caring about his family. And if you were in his life and he loved you, and he, even girls that he dated and even though they broke up, he still cared about what happened to them, wanted them to be happy. And, even though they weren't together or whatever, he still wanted them to have a great life. But that was the kind of man that he was.
Very, very spirited, very passionate, and like you said, very gifted and very talented, very loving in so many different ways and showing it in so many different ways. The fans still resonate it with today. And like you said, so many new fans too that are
Yeah.
discovering
Yeah.
Elvis and
Hmm.
even that genre of music. They're hearing it and they're thinking,
Hmm.
wow, I like this stuff. This stuff's cool. This stuff, it's hip, it's modern, it's
Timeless. Yes.
timeless,
Yes.
and songs that are beautiful too, wonderful
Hmm.
ballads, and
Hmm.
just so much. And of course, his image and his persona, unique as well. There's so
Hmm.
many people who have these unique voices, unique talents, and
Hmm.
unique looks and personas, images.
Hmm.
But what's great about what you're doing is you're letting people know that beyond the image, beyond celluloid, and beyond the records and everything else, he was really a kind-hearted soul, cared
Yeah.
about people,
Hmm.
and loved the family. The family was very important,
Hmm.
and of course, Lisa Marie, very important, and
Hmm.
missed as well. And I know what happens is a lot of times there's so many books that are out there that are written
Hmm.
from all these different perspectives
Hmm.
on Elvis from that particular perspective. And, it must sometimes get a little overwhelming when you see all of that, right? To try
It
to
does.
get it all straight.
It does. I mean, I could be busy from, here till forever. I'm trying to straighten out a lot of these things that have been said. But, and I understand people are looking from their point of view. But, a lot of times in books and movies and that kind of thing, they're just looking for sensationalism or, what they think might sell, that kind of thing. But, I think that Elvis lived he was such an amazing man and such a wonderful entertainer and person that I think that if you just are honest about him and who he was and the way he lived his life and the way he treated people, I think that's probably sensational enough just to tell the truth, and you don't have to embellish or make something up to make it sell.
Exactly right, which happens quite often,
Yeah.
more than anybody would like, and not everybody has somebody like you who's protective, who's also been there. I mean, you've been there, from the beginning. We've got a
Mm.
couple of photos that we
Yeah.
sort of put together here, and tell us tell us about this really fantastic one here.
Well, I was probably 11 years old, and that's my sister's Karen Sue. We called her Susie. That's standing on the other side, and we were out in the backyard at Graceland, and Elvis was out there, and I think it was the one time that my mother actually had a camera, because then we didn't carry cameras around with us every day. But we were all out in the backyard and just having family time, and So Mom said, Elvis, I want to get a picture with my girls. And he said, absolutely. So he grabbed each of us around the neck, and of course at that time, I was very, very shy. I know it's hard to believe now, but I, at one time I was very shy.
Shy and quiet
But
and
yeah, I mean, it
sure.
was a great thing. But people ask me all the time, well, how come you don't have more photos with Elvis? And I said, well, you've got to realize that Elvis was the most photographed human in the world. Every time he walked out of Graceland, and this was at the wedding reception, right
I
after he and Priscilla got married, and they came back to Graceland, and all the family and friends came there. So that was at that time. But that's the only two photos that I can think of that are actually I had with Elvis.
with Elvis,
Yeah,
right?
because we respected his privacy. You don't want to
Yes.
around with it. And two, not only was the fact that we respected his privacy and didn't want to stick a camera in his face everywhere he went, he didn't want to be treated like a star in his own home. And he so we respected that. And also at that time, who carried a camera around? We certainly didn't. And we
Oh,
never even
could you
thought of that.
imagine today with the cell phones what
Yeah.
that would be
Oh
like?
my goodness.
Oh boy.
He'd
Yeah,
probably have to hide forever.
it would be constant. And now with AI, you wouldn't even
Yes.
know if it really was, you
Exactly.
know,
That's true.
everybody keeps bringing him back to life. They saw him
Mhm.
down the street. He was
Yeah.
shopping in the mall. I mean, that's
I
like,
know, I know. I still
that must drive you crazy.
it does. And when people say, oh, I've seen a few comments here and there, and that say, oh, well, Elvis is not gone. He's not dead. He's living a life somewhere else doing this or that, and believe me, I wish that were true. I really do, but it's not. Uh, Elvis passed away on August 16th, 1977, and that's the end of that story as well as that goes. If someone resembles him or someone, tries to sing like him or whatever, that's on them. I mean, but Elvis is gone, unfortunately. But we carry him in our hearts, and he stays alive in our hearts and our minds forever. And as long as we do that, he'll always be with us.
Beautifully said, my friend. Beautifully said, and that's exactly right. And I showed this picture. This is you and the gang. Lisa Marie is there too, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You,
That's
it's the two
Lisa.
of you on the right.
Right, that's Lisa next to me, and we're just out, by meditation gardens and swimming pool, and we were just out there talking and just enjoying, being family time and so forth. So I love that photo, and that's one of she was probably, oh no, 10 maybe at that time, and the last
Lisa
time.
Marie. Yeah,
Yeah, 10 or 11. And the last time I saw her, she was like 12 or 13 years old that I saw her, on one. And,
exactly.
so many times I wish that I had reached out to her, especially after I read her book. I was just heartbroken by her book. And I thought, oh my goodness, if I just reached out to her and told her that, she had family here that absolutely loved her and would embrace her, and her life I feel like would have been much fuller and happier, and I know that ours would have been if we had reached out and been able to come together. But that didn't happen, and that's one of my true regrets, is that I didn't reach out to her, because I had no idea what she was going through as a person, feeling alone and unloved.
Very right, exactly. And when you grow up where your dad is Elvis Presley, there's
Mhm.
just a couple of other friends where their parents are celebrities
Yeah.
in either movies or music or
Mhm.
what have you, and not always easy growing up in the shadow of such incredible talent. But she, of course, very talented
Yes,
herself,
she
and
was.
a lot of people within the family have their own individual talents, right?
Yes, that's true. I mean, my grandmother sang, my mom and her sisters, and Uncle Vernon and Uncle Vester, everybody sang. And, of course, Elvis was a little better than everybody else. So he went out and, shook up the world with his talent. But, it was something that, as always in the family, we've all tried to, go our own way, but at the same time enjoy a part of being his life as well, and doing things with him, and trying to carry on the legacy that he left behind as best that we can.
As best as you can, which
Hmm.
you continue to do in such a beautiful and an absolutely loving way, which I think is fantastic.
Thank you, Jim.
There's a wonderful photo, huh, from the past?
Yes, yes, I love this photo. That's my our grandmother sitting in the chair, and to the left there is Aunt Delta, Uncle Vernon, my mom Nash, Uncle Vester, and my mom and them sister Gladys. Everybody gets confused because they'll look at the picture and I said, "That's not Gladys." No, it's not his mother Gladys. It's his aunt Gladys. But yeah, that's the five siblings with grandma right there. Yeah, this is other family members and the maids and people that work there, my mom and dad, and Aunt Delta and the dogs, and me and my sister, and people that worked at the estate there. So that's another. Oh yeah, I love this one too. My mom's there on the left, and grandma's in the middle, and then Aunt Delta's there on the right. So yeah, these are oh yeah. Aunt Delta, grandma, and Lisa Marie. And wow, you can really, yeah, see, and what a handsome man he was, I mean, he was just incredibly handsome, and he walked in the room, he had such charisma, and such, he looked like a Greek god all the time, and he had such charisma that, when he walked in the room, there was all attention was focused on him. Such a
As you
great.
can see in that great shot, right? This is overseas.
Yes, yes, that was in Germany, and when he was in service, and he would go out and talk to people, and he loved connecting with his fans and with people, and just enjoying and hearing about them and their lives and their stories, and loved to give. He just absolutely loved to give in any way that he could, and he was so giving in every way, not only monetarily, but in his spirit and his time, and the love that he had for people.
Tell us also about some of your incredible work. You are the legacy keeper, which I love, and that's a perfect title for you because you've been doing that not just recently. If anybody thinks Donna just suddenly decided to do this now, she's been doing this for years, and also a motivational speaker, of course, a wonderful singer and actress and author, humanitarian. Tell us about some of that work as the truly a legacy keeper and speaker, and some of your motivational work as well.
Well, Jim, I love to talk to people, and to groups and fans, or anybody else. I mean, I've talked to doctors and lawyers, and different things like that. In conventions and so forth. And I tell people, I've talked to schools. I was in Sweden a couple of years ago, and I was invited to speak at this, what they call a pop school. And it's based around music, and it's teaching young people, how to get into the music industry or film industry or things like that. And so I was invited to speak there, and I thought, "Oh, these kids are 13 to 17 years old, what am I going to say to them, But then I thought, well, yeah, I'm just going to go, and I'm just going to talk about Elvis and who he was and everything, and thinking, well, maybe they might not know so much about him. But how wrong was I? I mean, I walked in, sat down, and I asked them, I said, well, who all knows about Elvis? And every hand was raised, and they were firing questions at me right and left. I mean, really good questions. And I talked for an hour and a half. I was only supposed to be there like 35 minutes. And I talked for like an hour and a half. And they had other classes come in, and teachers were coming in just to hear about Elvis and who he was. And, I wanted them to realize that, because it was based on music, the school was. And I told them, I said, look, I want you to understand that there's going to be some of you that will probably make it and fulfill your every dream. And there may be others that might not fulfill the dream that you think you have at the moment. But understand that even Elvis Presley had to have musicians. He had to have backup singers. So he couldn't do his job if you don't do yours. So just trust me that your job is just important as the person that's out front, because without you, they can't be who they are. So, I just want people to realize, that, not everybody gets to fulfill their dreams in the way that they think. Sometimes a better dream comes along than they even begin to realize. But I want you to know, I mean, Elvis gave me advice one day, and he said, asked me what I wanted to do when I graduated high school. And I said, well, Elvis, I'm not really sure, but, I want to do something that can kind of make a difference, And he said, well, you can be anything you want to be, and you can do anything you want to do if you remember these four things. And I said, okay, what are they? He said, number one, you always have faith in God. Number two, always have faith in yourself. Number three, be willing to work hard for what you want. And number four, never ever let anyone tell you that you cannot accomplish your dreams, because I'm living proof that you can. And so I always tell these people, this, that if your dream doesn't come true by the time you're 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 even, I'm living my dream right now, being able to go out and, be able, because of Elvis and because the Lord's blessed him and blessed me, to speak to people, to be in a movie, to sing songs on stage, and to talk to people about Elvis and the family and about their dreams and what they want to do. And, to write books. And, all of these things have come true, but, they didn't come true for me until had grown children, and so never give up, because your dream is waiting for you. It may not be in the time that you think, but it'll be in the time that God knows is best. And so, I'm just very, very blessed to have been born into the family that I was born into, a very close, loving, close knit family. And, I'm blessed by that. And I'm blessed by being able to go out and tell people all around the world the values that I was taught and Elvis was taught at our grandmother's knee, and our parents. And, we were very blessed to have loving and caring family. And I realize that there's some people that don't, but I want them to know that there are people that do care for you, that you're not alone, and that you can talk to people, and there's help out there for you if you need it and you want it.
That is so important for people to hear and to know. It's such a blessing that you do that as a motivational speaker and somebody who really wants to inspire and lift and engage with others who might not, have a cheery day happening in their lives. And you also do it through song and performance and entertainment as well, which I think is another part with your gifted singing voice and your acting prowess as well, but especially with Donna Presley and Friends, when you go out on the road and you've done your thing over the years. I mean, your acclaimed solo shows are spectacular. Growing Up Presley,
Well,
Lessons in Family, Fame and Faith, Why Now, The Donna Presley Story, The Family That Shaped an Icon. I mean, all of these incredible things that you've done. It's fantastic, and you enjoy getting out there and getting on stage and performing and sharing, all the smiles and good times with everybody, Donna.
well, I do enjoy it. It's so much fun, and I love bringing Elvis with me, because a lot of these people that I perform in front of and talk to, they never saw Elvis live. They never met him. And so if I can come and bring a little bit of Elvis with me, and they can get, feel that love that I have for him and the family, and get to know him as a person, then I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And, I started a YouTube channel, as you know, and it's Donna Presley Official YouTube. And I just want to tell people about Elvis, about the family, and what we grew up as, and how we grew up, and what our family was like growing up together. And so I like being able to do that and to set the record straight and let people know what Elvis was like.
It's really amazing too, because you're called upon for a lot of different things. You continue to honor your roots, as you just so beautifully displayed, talking about the love of family and the importance of preserving the legacy, expanding your presence across truly the world stage, my friend, invited as a special guest at the Westgate Hotel in Las
Yes,
Vegas for the
yes,
prestigious event, The King Comes Home.
yes,
Your ongoing popularity also sees you frequently welcome back as a featured guest aboard the TCB Elvis Cruise,
yes,
celebration of
yeah,
music and memory at sea. And of course, going to Europe with appearances scheduled through Sweden and England and Austria and on and on and on. That's pretty amazing, too, with plans underway to visit the Far East,
yeah.
right?
Yes, I am.
Wow.
Actually, I am. We have the award show, in the Mississippi Music Foundation award show. We have that on April the 18th, and on April the 20th, I fly to Malaysia. And and it's my first time in the Far East, and I'm very excited about it, and I'm just thrilled. And it's just amazing, the far reach that Elvis has had, and I've just become such like a sister to the lady there in Malaysia, and she's been just amazing, and I just adore and love her, and it's just we've just been able to accomplish some great things, and I'm so thankful for that. And you when you have the right people with you, and people that are of the same mind and same accord as you, it's amazing. And you can do a lot of great things, and of course with the Lord's blessing upon us, then it's no telling how far we can go with it. And a friend of mine was telling me, said Elvis's reach is just so far reaching. And she was in Peru, and she was on a little bus going up the side of a mountain, and she said, and this little hut right sitting on the top of a mountain, there was a sign that said "Viva Elvis," and in the middle of Peru.
In Peru, right?
But this is just amazing that his reach is so vast and so far, and I'm just thrilled to be able to be able to carry on that legacy in the best way that I know how.
Now you're doing your own productions too, involved in film production and all. That's a whole other side that people might not realize you have dipped your toes into, right? You
Yeah.
enjoy that?
I have. I've got several movies lined up that I'm supposed to be involved in, and I think I told you one time. You asked me one time, "What would you like to do?" And I said, "Well, I haven't done any acting, and now all of a sudden I've got several films lined up. So it's just a blessing, and it's just wonderful to be able to have that, and to be able to live a dream, that I never thought could ever happen, but as Elvis said, it can. So
That's
never give
exactly
up.
right. Next up, the Oscars for Donna Presley, right?
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed.
How cool that would be,
How cool that would be.
right? Yes, you heard
Absolutely.
it here first on the Jim Masters show.
If I get
Uh,
to the Oscars, Jim, you're going to have to go with me.
I will be there. Absolutely. I'll have my tux on, the
All
whole
right.
bit. You know I will. This is one of them too, playing Detective Casey
Yes.
in The Gaslight Killer. Tell us about
Yes,
this. There you
that's
are.
correct. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm really excited about that.
This is cool. This is recent, right?
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's coming up. We've been talking about it for a while, but we finally are looking like things are going to start happening for us, and opening it up, and doing shooting the film. But and I love dramas, and I love things about detective things and things like that. And this film is really close to my heart, because it's about domestic abuse. And we want to get the word out there that this happens so often. And we catch the bad guy, and we put him away, and which is wonderful. But we want people to realize, we've teamed up with this film. We've teamed up with the Tennessee Domestic Abuse Hotline. And so we're wanting to get the word out there that there's help, for people of domestic abuse, and that you can be taken care of, and you can be protected. and there's help. So I'm very excited about that. And you like to be involved in things that matter and that really can help people along the way. And so I'm very excited about that. And I want people to realize, because there. I was married to someone that was the same way, it's abusive and everything. And so I understand what that's all about. And it's very important to me for people to realize that it's not that, yes, there are times you go through things, but it's not, don't let that define you. It's how you get through it and come out on the other side that makes you who you are. And that can happen, and you can be stronger for it.
Absolutely. That's great advice too. And where do you think that spirit and that inspiration and that resilience comes from for you, Donna?
Well, I'll be
Strong
honest.
faith?
Yeah, faith. Having God with me and guiding me and helping me, and the love of my family. My two sons and their wives and children and grandchildren. Now I have two great grandchildren. So it's just a blessing to have a wonderful family behind you. But most importantly of all is having God to be with you, and know that He'll carry you through, even in your darkest days when there's only one set of footsteps. He's carrying you. You're not alone.
And you call upon often as
Yeah.
needed, right, to get through some of the craziness
Yeah.
of everyday living, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So you've
And
dipped into the acting world. Are you enjoying it?
yes, I mean, it was really fun, I mean, you get to be somebody else, I mean, how
You get
fun
to
is
play.
that? But you know
Exactly.
uh and just kind of, the one thing that I love about the entertainment industry is that it makes you stretch. It makes you go out of your comfort zone, and you can prove to yourself just what you can do, because it's amazing what you can do if you just open your heart and your mind, and be willing to step out. And if you mess up, you can always try again. But I love that you can stretch and do things that you never thought possible for that you could do. So I enjoy that.
Which is fantastic. I mean, it's a whole new area that you've been toying with. I know
Yeah.
like you said, we had talked about it earlier that this is something that was sort of on that bucket list, that
Bucket
to-do
list.
list, right? That
Yes.
gee, I would love to put my 2 cents into that,
Yeah.
and that is really really cool. I think that's fantastic,
Yeah.
and so there's so many things going, and again, of course the books as well
Hmm.
have been well received. Do you
They have.
see, another coming? Of course, this is a fantastic one. If you don't have this too, and
Yeah.
of course, this is wonderful
A
as
cookbook
well.
in my mom's book, One
Yes.
Flower While I Live. And to be quite honest with you, Jim, there is another book in the works. One more. But
Are
it's
you documenting your travels? And, what I mean is there's so much that's written about Elvis from all these
Mhm,
different people and all these different perspectives.
mhm.
But are you also documenting everything as you're going along that could go into a book as far as just your
Yes.
experiences um, now versus even when you were kids and,
Yeah.
he was cousin Elvis and you were kids but just the things that you're doing that are preserving his legacy, but also what you're doing to
Yeah.
contribute to put smiles on people's faces. You sort of journaling and documenting it all.
Yes, I am. And the book has a lot to do with my life, just myself, and what I've gone through, and the marriage, the abusive marriage, and so forth. And I want people to realize that it's not just you that it happens to. It happens to other people. People you might not think that it could happen to, but it does. But that there is sunshine. There is a silver lining, and that you can come through it and can go on and accomplish things that you never thought possible. When I was involved in it, I thought, I'm the only one, but you're not. And you, with God's help and the love of family and friends and people, that can walk with you and be there for you, you can come through it, and you can go on and do, touch other lives and make a difference in other people's lives by letting them know that you survived it, and that you came out and you're happier and stronger and better, you know, for having gone through it, and you did make it.
That's really fantastic. Again, it's all positive energy. One of our viewers wanted to know
Mhm.
how you felt about some of the more recent movies that have come out, in reference to Elvis. He wanted to know, this is Joseph Larson. He goes, hey, Donna Presley, what are your thoughts on the Elvis movie starring Austin Butler and Tom Hanks?
Mhm.
Did you enjoy that one?
Well, I thought that Austin Butler did an amazing job. I really did. Um, I didn't like the movie. I didn't think that it portrayed Elvis in a good light, and it was totally, and completely wrong about Uncle Vernon and the way they portrayed him, and Aunt Gladys. I mean, it was just, to me, it was not a good film at all. I cried all the way through it, and I swore that I would never watch it again, and I haven't. And I mean, it was heartbreaking for me, because it was like I said, I didn't think it put Elvis in a good light. And of course, the timelines and so forth, but I guess that's artistic licensing. But the way that they portrayed Uncle Vernon and Aunt Gladys, it was horrendous, and Elvis would have been heartbroken about it, and it was completely erroneous. It was
S-
wrong.
So, if anybody that did see the movie, again, you knew the
Hmm.
family, the
Hmm.
uncle and all. Um, what would you like to say to them if they've seen the movie, but you're here to say, look, here's how the family, the uncle and all,
Hmm.
here's how they really were, not
Hmm.
as you saw them portrayed in the movies,
Hmm.
but let me tell you as Donna, the family member, what those people that they saw portrayed in a way that you didn't like, what they were really like. What were they really like for anybody that saw the movie? You can even set the record straight for them so they can really
Yes.
appreciate these people
Yes,
more.
absolutely. And I mean, I know that the film brought a lot of younger people in to, get to know Elvis and so forth. But what I want them to understand is, that Uncle Vernon and Aunt Gladys were people that absolutely adored and worshiped their son, and their only thing in life was Elvis and what was best for him. The movie portrayed Gladys and Aunt Gladys in a very poor light, and Uncle Vernon, they made it seem like he was weak and only cared about money, and just get him up on stage, whatever it takes, and it wasn't like that at all. He wasn't like that. Uncle Vernon was a very strong-willed, strong man, and who cared nothing about anything except his son. That's all he cared about, was taking care of his son. And then after Elvis died, and in the days of right before he passed away, the thing that was on his mind was taking care of Lisa and making sure she was okay. So I want people to realize that this was a very loving set of parents that adored their son, and he adored them. And it wasn't about the money or the fame. It was just about Elvis realizing his dream and doing what he wanted to do and what made him happy, and knowing that they were always there for him. And he always knew that.
Beautifully said, my friend. What are some other things that are out there circulating that, you know, sort of get under your skin a little bit, where you would want to make sure that somebody or people who are hearing this or thinking that uh, don't think that because it's not accurate? And you know, because you were there and lived it and
Mhm.
love Elvis, your cousin. Are there other things out there sort of in the air that, are not exactly the way things went?
Well, yes. I mean, there's been a book recently, and stating that Lisa's problems that were caused by Elvis, and that the situations that she had, and the issues that she had in her life were caused by Elvis. But I want people to realize Lisa was 9 years old when Elvis died, and so what happened to her in her own life. happened because of the things that happened to her. She was abused by, by one of her mother's boyfriends, and she didn't feel loved and cared for, and and all that's been blamed on Elvis, and that's completely wrong. I mean, why would you do that? And I think that a lot has been said that trying to discredit Lisa and her book. Um, but Lisa was a person that, she just told it like it was, and she didn't pull any punches with anybody. So, I want that to be corrected, that, everybody has problems in their lives. But you can't blame somebody that's been dead for 48 years for the problems that someone has. And so I want that to be corrected. And, let's focus on what possibly really caused, her issues and the problems that she had in her life.
We mentioned Elvis's 91st birthday. Could you
Mhm.
imagine? What do you think he would be doing today, all these years later? And again, a happy 91st birthday in heaven to the one and only Elvis Presley, who left us again with not only so much music, but so much of his talent and his heart. And we're talking with Donna Presley, his cousin, but also a wonderful singer and actress and motivational speaker, author, humanitarian, who loves to stop by the Jim Masters show. We love having her here because she's so open and real, and she's fun and authentic, and she's a dear friend of ours here on the show. What do you think Elvis would be like today? Were there hobbies and different things that he liked that you think he would have pursued separate from entertainment, separate from music? And it's hard to really guess and predict. We'd have to have a crystal ball, and even that
Yeah.
could be inaccurate. But do you think he would still be performing in some ways and going to the awards shows and everything? Or do you think he would have lived a more quiet, reserved life after the mega fanfare of it all?
Well, I think, of course, he would have, loved to have a life with family and friends, close to him, like which he always made sure that he did have, family and friends close to him. But I think that he would have loved to have continued to sing and perform in some way, or at least be a part of the music. I know he would love to be, helpful to other, young people that are coming up. I know Jay Osmond is a great friend of mine, and he told me several times, he said Elvis was such a mentor to us, and the Osmond brothers, and he said he helped us so much. He said he didn't just do it with just words, that he always followed up and made sure that we were following advice or needing help or anything like that. So he would definitely be helping people to get into the music business. But I think he would have also had been given the opportunity, he would have loved to be a serious actor. He always wanted to be a serious actor. And because he loved a challenge. I guess that's kind of inbred in us. We love a challenge and love to be able to meet that challenge and not only conquer it, but go beyond that. And so he always did that, and always gave it all he had, and the best that he could possibly do. So I definitely think that he would still be involved in music somehow, but also in the acting, and definitely, helping others, and to, fulfill their dreams as well. Because it's one thing he always wanted to do was make people's dreams come true.
Which is a beautiful thing. The world definitely needs to hear more of Elvis's music and feel his spirit, and watch the movies and go back, on the internet and watch his interviews and being on talk shows and different things over the years to really get an additional perspective of the level of entertainment, but also talent
Yeah.
that he offered for all of us. And everybody, we're living in such crazy times all over the place every day. Turn on the news and there's just something more crazy than the day before. But if you put on some of the music that even you celebrate in your performances, and his music takes you back to a more innocent time,
It does.
but it also sort of rekindles the notion that love matters,
Hmm.
and relationships and good times and kindness and empathy and romance and all of these things, no matter what's going on, how dark and gray the world may seem, these things still are tried and true. And Elvis, projected that and celebrated that and sang about it. And it's all still very important, right?
Oh, it is. I mean, uh, I would definitely. He always, was full of integrity and honesty and transparency and respect, for other people and honoring other people and loving other people. And if we follow, I just feel like if we could follow those rules and the kind of things that Elvis stood for, then our world would be a much better place.
Exactly right. Exactly. Just like this viewer right now says, the best times always. And
Yes.
yeah, that's wonderful to see. Yep. Um, he would have loved Japan. Uh,
Yes.
Thank you for
Yes.
that comment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Would have loved Japan as well. That's really amazing. It really truly is. And you're involved in the preservation. There's lots of memorabilia and artifacts, and because in the early years you had worked at Graceland as well, helping the
Mhm.
family. You preserving the artifacts and memorabilia as well along the way too, Donna?
Well, wasn't a part of that, as far as the memorabilia and that sort of thing like that. But when I worked at Graceland, I worked beside Uncle Vernon in the office, and I answered fan mail. And when I'd receive a letter from someone, I would handwrite a letter back to them. And I've through the years I've had people contact me and say they still had that letter and it meant so much to them. And so that was my contribution of being able to answer back and so forth. But I think it's important that people realize that Elvis was just a poor boy from Tupelo, Mississippi, but he put himself out there, and he you know just trusted God and trusted in himself, and went out there and gave everything that he had. And he left it all on the stage for people. And, he wanted to make sure that everybody out there had a wonderful time, and that he could help people's dreams come true. Whether it was just being able to attend his concert, or giving them something, and the memorabilia that's out there now. I mean, there's a lot of people that are collecting it and just want a part of him, just anything that was a part of Elvis and a part of his life. And I think that's important, and I think it's wonderful that they have that and can feel his love and his essence in those things.
That's right, exactly. They feel connected to him. What are some other things that you're looking forward to that are either coming up or that you would still like to do? You checked off the bucket list with the acting since we chatted last, which is good. What other? You've always got something up your
Well, I'm
sleeves,
always
Donna,
I'm always looking for a new challenge. That
right?
that I think that acorn didn't fall too far from the Elvis tree, because he always loved a challenge, and I myself, I always love challenges. And right now I'm taking ballet lessons, so I really like to be.
Are you really? You don't want to do a twirl for us now, do you?
I am. I
She
really.
actually would, folks.
I
She's a
would.
go-getter.
You
She
know me too well, Jim.
yes.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm taking ballet lessons. Of course, I'm taking voice lessons, because I always want to improve. And
Yeah.
I'm always looking for another exercise to get me, in better shape, or more agile, or you know, I do yoga and
Nimble.
things like that. Yeah, more.
Nimble.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So, you never know when you're gonna have to jump off on stage for something. So,
Exactly
to
right.
make an impactful, statement. But yeah, I mean, I thought, well, why wouldn't I take, ballet and dance lessons, and just I think that we can always better ourselves, and if we better ourselves, then we can help others to better themselves as well, and be a role model for people and say, hey, okay, so end of this month, end of this month, I'm going to be 76 years old, but I don't want to.
No way.
Yeah, yes, show you my
Mm-mm.
driver's license. But yeah, I always, I just want to improve myself and be the best that I can be. And my one prayer every day when I wake up is that I represent my God, my family, and myself to the very best of my ability. And in order to do that, I have to be the best me that I can be.
Well, you said the birthday's what, the 27th coming up?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. So there's still celebrating in recent days Elvis's 91st, which is so hard to believe.
I know.
And it really is hard to believe, right? Time just flies by.
It does.
So
It does. I'm telling you. So
yes,
we have to make hay while the sun shines, because we don't know how much longer we have on this earth. And that's why now I think that if we live our life fearlessly and boldly, and step out and and stand up for the right, and stand up for what's true and honest, and put ourselves out there. Yeah, we might get knocked down, and there are going to be people that are not going to like what we say or what we do, but hey, you just continue on, because it's going to help somebody along the way.
it really, really is. And nice comment coming in from Ellen here. She had said, I think this is nice.
Mhm.
Elvis really appreciated and expressed what people did in order to attend his concerts, and the show was for them. He made the show
Absolutely.
truly about them.
Yes,
And
definitely.
Maureen says, Donna, you're such a beautiful human.
Oh,
Your love and kindness that you show to others is very touching.
well, thank you so much. You have no idea how much that means to me. It touches my heart greatly. Thank you.
Absolutely right. And the family's doing well too, everybody, the kids,
Everybody's doing
grandkids.
well. And I've got a 2-year-old granddaughter. I don't know. She may be 25 in a 2-year-old's body,
She's got an old
but
soul, right?
but I think if anybody's going to take over what I do when I'm gone, it's going to be her.
She's setting it all up, isn't she?
Yes, yes, she is.
That is really, really wonderful, and that's what it's all about. That's, the blessing of life, and the beauty of life if you're able to surround all of it. How have you been able to balance the notoriety? Being a relative, a cousin of an Elvis Presley. How have you been able to have family and home and hearth, and still be out there and performing and doing, and the legacy keeper and everything that you do, and still have time for Donna? I mean, time to just kick back and read a good book and kick your leg up in the air. I love that shot. That's where we used it. That's
Thank you.
cool. Hey, I'm Donna Presley and I'm in town. Exactly. I have something to tell.
But
Um,
I
how do you balance it all? How have you been able to balance it all? It's not so
what
easy.
to be honest with you, people ask me, what do you do for fun? And I said, well, I work, because being able to do this is fun for me. I'm enjoying every minute of my life. I have two fabulous sons who support me in everything that I do, and they're always there for me, and their families, and my children, my grandchildren, my great grandchildren, and I have wonderful friends. And I have good people around me. And it's taken a lifetime sometimes to get to that, but because you run across people that you think are friends or whatever, and you find out that they're not. But keeping people that are true and honest, and who love and adore you, and I feel their love, and I feel their support, and they're always with me. And no matter where I am, I'm talking to my sons every single day, on the phone. If I'm not close to them, I'm on the phone with them, and speaking to my grandchildren. And it's just, I just have wonderful people around me, and I just love what I do, and I love the Lord, and I love my family and my friends. And so I'm very blessed in that way.
You really are. You are very, very blessed. And it's so, obvious that you love what you do, and you're very passionate about it, which I think is it comes through so loud and clearly, Donna. It's like I said, the word I used earlier was palpable. It is absolutely palpable, which is why I love having these opportunities to chat with you, because it's like two people just having a conversation with a cup of coffee.
Exactly. Yes, I feel the same way. I
And
do.
remember the first time you were on our show, because Donna's been a guest on our show several times. She's one of our, you know how TV series have regulars? Donna Presley is one of our regulars. Uh, Back then, your first appearance a couple of years ago on the Jim Masters show, you were designated a lovety.
I
Remember
did.
that?
I was. Yes. Yes.
Love and levity together. Levity and the
Love and levity
viewers.
together.
Yeah, the viewers said that she is definitely a Jim Masters show lovety, and you
I am.
remain a lovety today. You truly, really are. I think it's a beautiful thing that you want to preserve your cousin's legacy and the family's legacy, but you're also out there doing your thing as well. And you've got the family, and you've got the grandkids,
Mhm.
and everybody, of course, is wishing you a happy birthday.
Well,
And
thank you so much. I appreciate that very much. And Jim, it's always a pleasure to be with you. You're like a dear friend to me, and so like you said, we talked earlier. I said, well, we're just two people having a conversation over a cup of coffee.
it is absolutely, it is, and we shall do it in person one of these days. I
Absolutely.
don't doubt. Tim just wanted to throw in, we welcome everybody joining us here on the Jim Masters Show, Entertainment, Lifestyle, Celebrity Talk Show series. That's a nice comment. Nobody still to this day has had a singing voice like Elvis.
I agree completely. Nor will they
Yeah,
ever. He was one of a
yes,
kind. Yes, for sure.
exactly. And Donna, you're such a gem. God bless you.
Oh, thank you so much.
And happy birthday, Donna.
Thank you.
Yes, that's thanks. The viewers are really coming through here, and so glad that you're here in Lovety Hall on the Jim Masters Show, and you're doing a great job. She
Well, thank
always
you.
does. Well, she's at home here. That's what it is. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And happy
Absolutely.
birthday to you as well. Everybody
Thank
wishing you a
you.
birthday. Yeah, her birthday's coming up in a matter of days, everybody. And yes, Elvis did love gospel music as
Yes, he
well.
did.
Was a part of his life, and
Yeah.
great advice that you're sharing. Yep, she's very compassionate and inspirational and motivational as well. So good stuff, my friend. Truly good stuff. And again, we wish Elvis Presley, Donna's cousin, a very happy 91st birthday in heaven with us, of course,
Absolutely.
in
Yeah.
spirit. And if you ever get a chance to catch Donna Presley and friends when she's out and about, she'll knock your socks off and make you feel good and entertain you and all the songs that you love. And of course, check out her books too. And you can go right to her website, donnapresley.com, her official website, and of course, all her social media, Donna Presley Official as well. And if this is your first time watching the Jim Masters Show, welcome to our show as well. We love having you here. And it's always a blessing having you here as well. And with it, your birthday coming up, I just wanted to say a very, very heartfelt happy birthday and send you love and blessings from here at the Jim Masters Show, which of course is right here in the New York area and the East Coast. We send our East Coast love to you, my friend.
Thank you.
And really a beautiful, spirited person that you are. So with that, I will do a quick little 3, 2, 1 and say, happy birthday
Oh.
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Donna. We love you.
Oh.
Happy birthday to you. How's that? Huh?
That's
Coming from a
fabulous.
Presley. How was that?
Thank you, Jim. I appreciate that so much. I love you to death. You know that.
Thank you very much. And how was the singing? Good? Did I get a
Fabulous.
thumbs up
We're
from the
going to go on
Presleys?
the road together. We're going to go on the road.
We're going to go on the road with Jim Masters and Donna Presley.
You bet.
I love it. Good stuff, my friend. You be well and
You
continued
too.
blessings, safe
Thank you.
travels. And the porch light is still on for you. You're welcome back here anytime, my friend. Have a fantastic birthday and
Thank
all
you.
the good things that are coming up. And I would say, let's stay connected. But even off air, she and I are always
Yeah,
connected anyway.
always,
But
always.
we will gather soon. I don't doubt. It's always too long when we're not together.
True.
And I look forward to the continuation. Blessings to you and the family. And I truly hope you enjoyed the time with me once again, as I
Oh,
have with you, Don.
always, always, always. I love being with you, Jim. It's amazing. It's so much fun, and we have a great time together, and we get a lot done. So I can't ask for more than that.
And I even sang you happy birthday
You
too,
did.
huh? Well, and
That's
I didn't
right.
warm up. I didn't even do a warm up or anything. I
I
just
know.
threw it out there.
I
Usually
am
you're supposed to,
impressed.
supposed to gargle and warm up. And why, thank you, my friend. Uh,
Thank you.
Again, blessings to you. And we love you. And we will
Love you
chat
too.
again soon. Okay.
Okay.
You be
Love you.
well.
Love you dearly. Bye
Love you
bye.
back. Take care now.
Bye bye.
The one and only Donna Presley here on the Jim Masters Show, Entertainment Lifestyle Celebrity Talk Show series. Even got a chance. I didn't warm up my normal singing voice. I do sing. I'm an alto, but I wanted to surprise her. So you got Elvis's birthday just recently, 91 years old. Hard to believe, and it was nice to be able to see what Donna would think that he would be doing now, and some of the things that he enjoyed in his life, and he would live, for family, of course, absolutely, as Donna does too. This really was a blessing of a conversation. We love having our good friend Donna Presley here. Yes, cousin of Elvis Presley, beloved cousin. She is the legacy keeper, but at the same time, she has her own life and her family, and she's a singer and an actress. Look for her in some of these things that are coming out, movies and things, which is quite exciting. She was talking about that last time with us here on the Jim Master Show. She wanted to get into that world, and she is, and this is recent. Detective Casey, the Gaslight Killer. It's going to be coming out soon. And of course, celebrating Elvis Presley in all the ways that we could here as we celebrate his birthday, but also his extraordinary contributions to the world and music, and of course his acting in the movies and so much more. So this was terrific. Hey gang, if you enjoyed this, certainly give this episode a thumbs up like. That really helps us grow. When you give a thumbs up like and you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, don't forget to click the notification bell so you're abreast of all the great episodes. But definitely give this episode a like. Really important, because when you do that, more people get a chance to see our series and our episodes. Now, I also encourage you to go back in our episode archive, which is huge. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Jim Masters Show series episodes with amazing celebrity friends and guests. Donna has been here several times before, and you can see those other in-depth conversations and laughs and more we've shared together. And some of your other famous celebrity friends that you see on television and have seen and admired on stage and everywhere else in film, they've been here on the show, from Broadway and Hollywood, television, film, music, comedy, sports, everything. Check it all out. It's all archived there for you. But do give our episode a thumbs up, little like icon that's there. Kind of, it's like a thumbs up thing, and share this episode too. Share it on your social media. We would love that. And also, Jim Masters TV is our YouTube channel. Of course, that's what you're watching right now. So subscribe if you haven't. We would love that. To those of you who are subscribers, of course, it doesn't cost anything. We say thank you so very much for your loyalty, for subscribing, for being a part of the Jim Masters Show family, or the Lovity Squad as our members, or not even members, just viewers, our fans, our faithful fans call themselves the Lovities. That's Love and Levity together, which I think is so cool. And anybody new that's watching, we welcome you. Thanks so much for being with us here on the Jim Masters Show. If this is your first time with us, come join us again. We've got so many incredible celebrity friends and special guests who stop by our show. One more time, we thank Donna Presley for being here. Really a beautiful conversation, and happy birthday, of course, 91st to Elvis. Share your memories. Drop a comment below what is your favorite Elvis movie, your favorite Elvis song. There's so many amazing songs too in the collections. And of course, over the holidays, you heard Blue Christmas and just so much more. Memory. I mean, songs that have stood the test of time, right? That when you hear them, they just make you feel good. And if you were around when he was around, I'm sure it brings back some really beautiful memories for you. Hopefully, this show did, the Jim Masters show as well, this episode with Donna. And there she is with this wonderful statue of her cousin Elvis as well. So check her out. She's there online. And good stuff. Oh, I love the comments coming in. You're welcome, Kathleen. And thank you very much. I appreciate your comments. We got some hearts and smiley faces there. Come check us again. And don't forget to go back in the archives on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Some of your favorite people from television and movies and child stars and Grammy-winning artists and all have been here. And I know it was great having her here again, right? I think this is like her fourth time on the Jim Masters show here as a wonderful friend. Thank you very much. And absolutely, yeah. And got a chance to, throw in a quick little happy birthday for her as well. Her birthday's coming up. And yeah, she's great. And you love the smile. And you're very, very welcome. My pleasure. Absolutely. Look at all those icons there. I love that. You guys are very expressive. And yeah, we have a lot of fun here at the Jim Masters show. A lot of fun. And we always have a good time here and very interactive with our celebrity talk show series. That's what we do. I don't really call these, as many of you know who follow us all the time, I don't really call these interviews. I call them conversations, really good, real conversations with our celebrity friends, guests, special guests, and with all of you watching. For many years now, we've been here, and much, much more to come. So with that said, don't forget to follow us on social media. You can find me and the show at Facebook and X and Instagram, all at Jim Masters TV. So check that out as well. Don't keep it a secret. If you love what we're doing here and you love these kinds of interactive conversations and all the fun we have at JMS, spread the word. Get a bullhorn and go on top of Mount Everest to say, I love the Jim Masters show. We appreciate that. So we send our love again to all of our viewers around the world. If the world's a crazy place, right? Every day something nutty going on and something not always positive going on. Come join us here at the Jim Masters Show, Entertainment, Lifestyle, Celebrity Talk Show series. We'll try to put a smile on your face. We'll try to, bring you some knowledge building material. Maybe you learn something new. Maybe you get educated about something, maybe inspired, but also at the same time, you have a few laughs with us too. And we're all in it together. We all have a good time together. I don't even need this anymore. That was just to hear, put that away. Done. That's just like a little ear pod so I can hear the guest and I can hear the music and the theme song and all the rest. So we keep on track, but now it's just you and me. So thanks, gang. A real pleasure to have you here. We love when you tune in. Thank you for all the comments and support. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. And one more time, like, comment, subscribe, share, celebrate. Thanks to Donna, and thanks to all of you. As we always say here at the Jim Masters Show, don't forget to love one another. Take care of one another. Donna talks about it often. Elvis talked about it. Take care of you and yours and the world at large. And don't forget to love yourself. It's really important to do that. Take time to do that. I got to remind myself often to do that too. But take time to do that. And it's really essential you do that. So be well. Thanks for joining us. And we'll see you on the next episode. Don't go anywhere. Another episode of the Jim Masters Show comes up. You can see episodes here and there and everywhere right here on the Jim Masters Show series. We love you all. Take care. Be well, everybody. Come see us again. Jim Masters saying, terrific to have you with us. And we'll keep the porch light on for you as well. Be well, everybody, and cheers.